Previously on the OMEN podcast.
Do you feel hot or cold? Whether or not you say hot or cold will completely depend on what happens to your character from now on.
Hot.
You feel this energy inside you. We believe that this man is a witch. Oh my god, I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna die! You are leafing through a bunch of books and you come across ones about the way that witches are trialed. This book looks like it's one of our older ones. You could probably find out this kind of information in the town museum, but it's been closed for like years.
I'm going to run towards the manor with a pile of flaming panties in my arms.
The manor is now fully ablaze.
My name is Isher. I'm a freedom fighter.
Wait, a freedom fighter?
Yeah, I'm gonna be inside you for the foreseeable future until you die.
Okay.
And then I'll take your soul back to hell, and then I'm gonna use that as a bargaining chip.
Okay, counterpoint? What if we don't do that?
What will happen next? Let's find out in this episode of OMEN.
So if I remember correctly, you guys slept during the day and now you're waking up and it's nighttime. And Andreas has had his weird dream and now I'm going to take a new card. Oh, this is an interesting one. It's a man holding a bunch of fire. That seems apt for what happened 2 episodes ago.
So it was a premonition, but it came too late, so it's a postmonition.
It is a postmonition. I don't know how to read this one. I need to check my tarot book. I'm going to say you guys get up and you look out and the blaze at the Lafayette Manor is still going. You can hear nearby the ringing of the town's fire department as they're trying to put it out. But it is nighttime now and it is dark. You have one day until Smedley goes on trial. What do you want to do during the night?
I'm gonna knock on Koala's door.
Yes, hello? I'm coming. I open up the door. I'm standing completely naked except for a pair of pants from the forest.
Koala, are you using your soul at the moment?
I'm reasonably attached to it. May I ask why?
No reason. Just checking. You sure?
Is there something wrong, Martin? If I can help at all, you just let me know.
I'll get back to you on that. But let me know if you change your mind, okay?
Okay.
Annabelle, what are you doing at this point?
Probably sleeping.
Well, you've been sleeping most of the day. You've probably woken up at this point.
Don't you tell Annabelle what she's doing.
This is the best vacation. I didn't get to use my celestial stone last night for the completely useful things that I use it for.
Yeah.
So, God?
Yes.
We talked about this. You don't sound like God. You gotta sound like the British douche.
Yes.
God, will Greg be here in the next 3 days?
No.
Shit.
Oh, don't say shit around God.
Oh, okay, not shit, God. I meant, butt babies. Thank you, God.
You're welcome.
So yeah, the 3 of you are still in the house. It is nightfall. You guys can use the night to go and explore if you want. Because it's nighttime, there aren't many people out, so you guys have more options for stealth and things like that.
Y'all want to break into the museum?
That would actually be a really good use of this night. I was just thinking about when I would be married.
You're excited for that, aren't you?
I am excited for that. I don't remember being married currently. This might be my first time.
You've definitely talked about an ex-wife before, but maybe that was just you putting on a show.
I hope I'm divorced already.
Well, you did say ex-wife.
So the 3 of you leave the house under the cover of nightfall, and you get to the town museum. As I said in the first episode of the Phantom session, the museum is completely boarded up. It has been abandoned for a very long time, so you guys would need to break in if you want to get inside.
Is there anyone around? Are we the only ones here?
You are the only ones here. It is very quiet this evening. There's no one around.
So, I have a bit of a confession to make, you guys.
What is it?
I didn't just watch Netflix on, you were gone.
Oh man, I think that's a -3 to trust.
All right.
And I walk over to the boards, and I hulk out, and I rip them off, and go into the museum.
Okay, you walk up to the boards, and the other two watch as your muscles grow like 5 times the size they normally are, and you effortlessly rip the boards and the nails off of the door.
I'd like to catch the things as he throws them away with a nonchalant grunt, just so that we're slightly more stealthy.
Yeah, all right, sure, you do that.
Okay, I set them down gently, and I'm stunned. I look at Annabelle, and I give my questioning look, which isn't too different from my regular look.
I no longer believe that Smedley can take Martin in a fight.
I think you're right about that.
So I maybe have summoned a demon a little bit that kind of possessed me a little. So that's a thing.
Should we be worried?
I mean, probably not. They seemed kind of nice.
Like,
more or less. They want my soul, which is the bad part. But, if you know someone who has to spare, let me know.
if we manage to do this successfully and Smedley gets out, then the guy who they'd be executing in his place presumably wouldn't need his soul anymore.
Yeah, but it sort of has to be voluntary, apparently. So I don't think I can just sort of take it. I don't really know where you would even grab. Like, where do you hold a soul? Like, there's a lot of questions here.
That's a very philosophical question as well.
So the three of you walk into the museum. It is incredibly dusty in here, like nothing's been touched in years. On the walls, pictures of the town in its heyday. The town once had trams, apparently, as you can see on one of the walls. You see the town centre with the beautiful angel statue, not run down. There were lots of people dancing around it. It looks like this town was once a vibrant and wonderful place compared with what it is today. You see photos of Gumboland, the first opening day, with a bunch of people outside and a very happy-looking clown ushering people into the park.
I smashed the picture of the clown.
Okay, you punch the picture of the clown and rip straight into it. Dust goes everywhere. This museum is just full of lots and lots of old examples of the town's history. There are 2 rooms, one to your right and one to your left.
I go to the right.
Annabelle, do you want to go left? And
Yeah.
Martin wants to go right?
Yeah.
I'm divided between my friends, so I'm going to search around a little bit more where we initially entered.
So there are some stairs going upstairs, Koala, so you could go up there if you want.
Okay, let's all split up in the giant abandoned museum. This is a good idea.
Okay, I'll start with Dr. Martin then. Dr. Martin, you go into a room. The room is quite expansive. Inside there is a model of the town, and around it seems to be the old history of the town of Fantome. Could you roll for observation for me?
Yeah. That's an 8.
Okay, so you wander around in this room. I'm going to say because you get an 8, you get to ask me 2 questions about the room.
About the room. Okay, so you said there was, just to double check, you said there's a model of the town.
Model of the town. This room seems to be about the town's history.
Okay, well, first I'm going to do a thing that isn't ask a question, which is to rip out the model of our house so I can bring it with me.
You use your demon strength to pull the model of your house off of the table.
Oh, so Martin is still just demon ripped. Like, that hasn't changed at all after...
I'd say the ripping is less ripped than he was. He has the power to, like, he can rip out his hand, he can rip out his arm, he can rip out most of him.
When you say rip out like that, it doesn't make it sound like my muscles go big, it makes it sound like I rip
pull
off
it
my
off.
arm.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You can hulk out your hand, you can hulk out your arm, you can hulk out anything.
Yeah.
See, the direction I thought you were going with that was going to be, like, you rip out as in... Your muscles burst out of your skin.
Ugh.
And so you got a lot of really bloody flesh just...
Hang in there. No, luckily he's not having that much of a problem yet.
Well, I want to look for specifically history related to witches.
Okay, could you please roll for focus?
22.
So you wander around this room and you find the section on witchcraft in this particular town. You garner a couple of extra facts. It looks like the trial by combat is in the bayou area. There is actually like a stone circle set up near the bayou area. where the trial by combat happens. You see a painting up there. It looks like this particular trial by combat is a witch, a very old-looking witch. She is fighting something that doesn't look human. It looks like some sort of person made from wood.
Uh-huh. That's not a good sign.
Woody Harrelson.
No, it's Woody from Toy Story.
The wood is like twisted and gnarled, and there are like purple energies like leaking out of it.
Can I look it up in the Helsing Compendium?
So what are you searching for in the Helsing Compendium?
W for wood creature.
Okay, you search for woodland folk, and you eventually come across something that looks kind of similar in terms of the imagery, and you work out that this is a Spriggan.
A Spriggan? That sounds vaguely familiar.
Yes, so Spriggan are like woodland creatures. They also exist in different locations, so you can have like swamp Spriggan, Spriggan in deserts. Like they represent the area that they come from. And it looks like this trial by combat didn't necessarily have a person in it, it was a Spriggan instead.
Right. Okay.
So it looks like that page that was ripped out was like trial by combat by a person or and then magical creature of some kind.
So trial by combat is probably not what we want to do.
So this is the thing. So when you look through that Spriggan stuff, you know that Spriggans are particularly weak to fire. So if you could get Smedley some fire, then maybe he could do something.
Does that cover my questions? I don't think I have anything else, so...
I mean, if you want to see it, look for anything else in the room, you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see, maybe there's some dirt on the sheriff here. Maybe I can use that. Is there anything about his family or something like that here?
So you look around, and you find some really interesting stuff here. It looks like the Lafayette Manor was not originally called the Lafayette Manor. The Lafayette Manor was originally the Saint-Jean Manor. It was owned by the original founders of the town. They owned the mining company, and then the Lafayettes bought them out in the turn of the century.
Is the sheriff of Lafayette? Or...
No, so that's Sheriff White, but you just, as looking through the town's history, you notice that. It looks like when the Lafayettes bought the town, that was around about the time that the town museum was closed up.
I'm sure that means something that I can figure out later.
Now we're going to go to Annabelle. Annabelle, you are in the other room. This room appears to be like an education school center.
All right.
What do you want to do in here?
Look around.
Okay, roll for observation for me.
Got a 13.
You look through the abandoned schoolroom. You rummage around in the boxes where they keep all of the school stuff to try and find anything useful. You find yourself a book. This book is about the mining done in this town. This book will give you information on the mine shafts that run underneath the town itself.
All right. I'll just keep that and give it to the book man.
The bookman. Koala, you walk up the incredibly creaky stairs, and you make it your way up into the storage facility of this place.
A storage facility. That's really interesting.
Inside the storage facility, there are lots of old artifacts like stuffed animals and things, all covered with white sheets. There's dust everywhere. There are boxes and crates strewn everywhere. Can you roll for observation for me?
It's a 7, so it ain't good.
It ain't good. You can ask me one question about this area.
All right. And how many actions do I have in this area?
You can have as many actions as you want. It's just you only get to ask one question of me about anything specifically important of this area.
What is the nature of this storage room? Does it just contain exhibits, or what is the exact nature of the sort of artifacts I would find in this room were I to loot it?
So these would be old pieces of artwork, old artifacts that this town has put into storage after removing them from downstairs.
So you're saying it's a museum?
Yes.
Room.
It's a museum storage room.
All right.
You're in a museum right now, Koala.
I appreciate the reminder. Sometimes things get a little bit fuzzy. I want to use my thermic sensor in the room to sort of test it out, see if there's anything magical or weird here.
You wave your thermic sensor, and it very slightly crackles.
In what direction?
Towards some of the white sheets. There's a very, 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 very faint crackle. It's barely registering on the thermic sensor.
I want to check out those white sheets. I want to pull it off elaborately, like a person with a dining table, but for precious artifacts that could be broken in the process.
You walk over to these dusty-looking white sheets, and you start to pull them off. The first one you pull off is just a small crystal ball. The second one you pull off is a cabinet full of signet rings.
Okay.
And the third one you pull off is a portrait.
Intriguing.
Can you roll for observation for me?
That's a critical fail of 1. Man.
You see a painting, and the painting is of Annabelle.
What?
You see a painting, and the painting is of Annabelle.
I heard what you said, but I'm very surprised by this development.
I mean, yeah.
Don't patronize me, God. I examined the picture more closely.
Okay, you look at the painting. It's Annabelle, but she's wearing some very old clothes.
What definition of old here? Are we talking like druid old or
No. I'd say
pioneer?
Yeah, pioneer. We're talking sort of old, like quite old. We're looking like when was pioneer stuff? I don't know. I'm not really into my American history. Annabelle, give me some numbers.
American history. Depends on how pioneer you want. To go to that area, probably 1600s, 1700s.
I'd say this is probably 1800s.
Okay.
This is probably 1800s outfits that she's wearing.
Okay, wow. So is there any indication whether I want to examine it to see, like, is this the person I know, or is this a relative, or what's the deal here?
You can't tell much more other than that it looks like Annabelle.
I want to take the picture with me, because it is, of course, a face of a kind. So,
all right, you pick up the portrait. The dust falls off of the top of it. Are you taking it downstairs?
Not quite yet. I want to look at the signet rings. What's the deal with these signet rings?
Okay, so you look down at the signet rings, and there is a signet ring there with the initials SJ on it. There is also a ring there with quite a impressive-looking diamond.
Interesting. The diamond is shiny, but this might be a test of my shallowness. So I'm not going to take the diamond. Yeah, I'm going to take the diamond.
You lift up the flap and you take the...
Wait, SJ! St. John! No, I'm not going to pick up the diamond. I'm going to pick up the SJ thing.
Okay, so you pick up the signet ring and you have it in your hand. What else do you want to do up here?
What was the very first thing you mentioned before the signet rings?
A crystal ball.
I want to rub the crystal ball and say, will I be happy?
Oh.
Roll for focus.
I have a focus roll of 11.
Nothing happens.
That is even more depressing than any other option. Cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
Crystal ball's useless. Gonna leave this alone.
Okay.
I'm in a room full of artifacts, and burning anything would be a very bad idea. So...
Didn't stop you last time.
No, that was a good idea then. So I'm just gonna look at this array of stuff and, somewhat chastened, go downstairs. I think I have what I need here.
So you head downstairs again, and Annabelle and Martin are at the bottom of the stairs. Annabelle, you see this painting.
That's a nice painting you got there. Could we not steal everything?
I stole a house.
He turns it round, and you see a picture of you.
Huh. That's a nice painting you got there.
Yeah, does it look familiar at all? Do you remember doing history cosplay at any point? Historical reenactment?
Well, when we went shooting, sometimes at the competitions, I had to dress up then, but nothing like that.
Have you been here before?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so.
This painting that you commissioned at some point, you must have commissioned this at some point, right? You don't just get a painting of yourself in a random town.
Does it say anything on the back about the painter? Is there like a signature of who made it?
There is a signature on the back of the painting, and it's dated a date I'm going to work out now. When is 1800s?
It's in the 1800s.
Yeah.
What happened in 1899?
I think Red Dead Redemption 2?
It's a little bit earlier.
Yeah, all right, yeah. No, that'll do. Yeah, all right, okay. 1899.
That's
Old.
that's a pretty expensive painting, right? Like $1,900 for an oil painting?
Jesus Christ. Jeez.
I mean, maybe it's not $1,900 per se. Maybe it's Australian dollars. Maybe it's a very small amount of money.
But it can't be the year 1899, right?
There were Australians in the United States at that time. I think it might have been Australian dollars. Maybe it was like a $20 painting, but inflation. Maybe
Well, no, inflation works the other way around, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe there's 1,899 paints they used? 1,899 people in the painting?
Annabelle, are you secretly, 150?
Look, I realize that I got a really common-looking face, but that don't mean that painting's me. Just because all of us white women look the same, don't mean that white woman is me too.
Can you please roll for focus for me?
9.
You feel a weird crackle on the back of your neck. It's kind of a similar feeling to the feeling you had when you went to go see your dad. It's that sort of hot energy on the back of your neck.
I touch the back of my neck, see if there's anything back there.
You rub the back of your neck and there's nothing there, but you have this weird, you feel compelled to sort of touch the painting.
I can't resist the compulsion that God's telling me to touch the painting, so I'm gonna touch the painting.
When you touch the painting, you feel energy come from the painting into you. You feel the residual energy that is left on this painting course through your hand, and you look down and you see your hand glow in a similar way to when you healed your father.
So, y'all remember how we said glowing's bad?
Yeah.
Oh, did you also summon a demon?
No, but
Annabelle, are you magic?
I don't.
I set down the painting. I put my hand on Annabelle's shoulder. And I say, if it bothers you that much, I can cut it off for you.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when.
I'm gonna back off. It's not gonna explode, is it?
I place my glowing hand on Koala's shoulder, and I go, "Thank you for the offer. I really don't need that. I don't think." Do I accidentally heal him?
As soon as Annabelle puts her hand on your shoulder, you feel yourself heal.
What is this? This is new.
The scorch marks that were on you from the panties heal up. And I can't believe that I had to say that line, but here we are in this game. And the three of you sort of gather round in front of this painting.
I take my hand off of Annabelle and I put my hand back on her shoulder. And I say, wow, this is new. This is a lot. What's going on?
The OMEN podcast is powered by Ellipsis RPG, the accessible donationware rule set, now available on itch.io. If you like what you're hearing, please rate us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. You can tweet to us at the hashtag OMENcast, that's OMEN cast, and who knows, you might get a special mention in one of the episodes from us. Thank you for listening, and remember, stay vigilant. You never know what's out there.
Hi there. The show you just listened to is a member of the Necropodicon Podcast Network. Head over to necropodicon.com to find tons of other shows you'll love. While you're there, check out the cast and crew profiles and fan art galleries.